First at 4, we are literally minutes away from the official beginning of fall, but it sure doesn't feel like it. We are close to breaking a heat record. Also ahead is the new Republican health care plan dead on arrival. Another key senator has made his decision. Up first, this story is trending online. A local motorcycle club goes up in flames. How a break-in turned into this disaster. First at 4 starts now.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, an investigation is underway at this hour in Lyon Township into a fire that ripped through and destroyed a motorcycle club. You are looking at the aftermath of that massive fire at the Scorpions Motorcycle Club. It's off of Milford Road between 11 and 12 Mile Roads. The president of the Scorpions chapter caught up with Local 4. He says the fire was actually a cover-up for a break-in using a mini excavator.
They stole the Bobcat, looks like, and dragged our big safe to the side. They worked on that for a while, it looks like, because it looks like they got the back spot got, but all we could figure out was because of the last party. You know, they thought there was money in there from the party.
Investigators from the ATF are looking to see if there's a connection between this fire and another fire at a motorcycle club earlier this week. More on the investigation tonight at 5. Moving to West Bloomfield Township, a gas leak has been repaired after crews work overnight to patch up that mess. It happened on Orchard Lake Road near Maple Road. Scene video shows crews working to repair the leak, which happened after a contractor mistakenly cut a 12-inch line. No injuries were reported, and there were no evacuations made. At this hour, we are officially moving into fall. But it really doesn't feel like it, does it? Andrew Humphrey is in for Ben this afternoon. And Andrew, it is really hot out there.
Karen, you said it, hot and humid. I mean, we're talking about heat indices here in late September. And you're right, fall begins right now, 4:02. It's the autumnal equinox, everybody. So happy equinox. To celebrate, we've got temperatures near 90 or more. Look at that. Look at Lansing, 93 degrees at this hour, while it's 88 for our friends over at Metro Airport, 85 in Mount Clemens, cooler, but still warm for this time of year, 78 around those cooler waters. That's where Grosse Ile is, 86 for our friends over in Monroe. But look at that, 90 or more from Ann Arbor to Howell, near 90 degrees over in Pontiac, and at the 90-degree mark in both Lapeer and over in Port Huron. Now, it's drip dry right now, unlike yesterday afternoon where we had some isolated showers and storms pop up. In fact, you can see some here in Jackson County, also in Hillsdale County, but they are staying right where they are. So far, so good. There might be 1 or 2 showers or storms that pop up during this afternoon, but they'll be few and far between. So most folks can go outside, enjoy 88 degrees, but drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, stay cool, everybody, light and loose fitting clothes, some of those summertime tips, because it feels like 93 when you factor in that humidity, including over at the baseball game. Tigers in town taking on Minnesota, temperatures in the 80s and eventually 70s this evening. We'll talk more about this weekend coming up.
Well, we are getting an interesting update on the new Q line in downtown Detroit. The service was free for months, but now riders are supposed to pay to ride. Our Coco McAvoy takes a look to see how that's affecting ridership and if everyone's paying their fair share.
Thousands of people ride the Q line, but since the ride stopped being free, ridership went down 40%. But a spokesperson with the Q line says they're not worried yet because it's only been a couple of weeks. The Q line has become a part of downtown Detroit's landscape, just like the Taurus. But daily riders noticed a difference after Labor Day.
The tracking's been down lately, so that's not so great, but usually it's pretty packed. Once they had to start paying for it, it's been a little less packed.
For a couple of weeks now, the Q line has started charging people, and ridership went down to about 3,000 daily rides compared to the 5,000 daily rides while it was free.
They should have left it free.
Her reasoning?
It costs just as much to catch the bus as it does the Q line.
But are some people not paying for a ride on the Q line at all? A spokesperson for the Q line says the national average collection rate for streetcars is just over 32%, and the Q line is collecting about 40% right now.
Nothing that has transpired. He really surprised us very much. You know, we expected to have a little bit of a dip on the ridership, you know.
Some residents are also hopeful ridership will eventually improve. They'll just have to wait and see. A spokesperson says there will be ambassadors at all of these stops and on the Q line streetcars to make sure people know how to pay, and they expect ridership to increase once again. In downtown Detroit, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Coco. Republican Senator John McCain may have killed another effort to repeal and replace Obamacare. Today, he declared he will not vote for the new Graham-Cassidy proposal, even though his good friend, Senator Lindsey Graham, is one of the authors. McCain says he believes there is a better solution if Democrats and Republicans work together. Republicans can only lose 2 votes to pass the bill without Democrats. Right now, Senators Rand Paul and Susan Collins also say they are leaning against the bill. We, of course, will keep you posted. Name-calling and nuclear threats are raising concerns today all around the world about America's standoff with North Korea. Today, North Korea responded to President Trump's address at the United Nations with a very personal attack on the president himself. But it is the military threat that could be more dangerous. Let's bring in Kimberly Gill. She's in the newsroom tracking the threats, of course, the latest on the tweets as well.
Yeah, Karen, you're right. Good afternoon to you. For the first time, Kim Jong-un is releasing a direct statement, tossing a string of insults toward President Trump. The North Korean leader's comments were read on state television, calling President Trump, quote, a mentally deranged dotard. And yes, dotard is a real word. It means an old person, especially one who has become weak or senile. More disturbing than the name calling, though, North Korea's foreign minister is threatening that country will test a hydrogen bomb over the Pacific Ocean. Kim Jong-un is saying President Trump's recent threats have convinced him his nuclear weapons are indeed necessary. Now, in response, President Trump tweeted this morning, quote, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, who is obviously a madman who doesn't mind starving or killing his people, will be tested like never before. This exchange follows the president's speech at the United Nations, where he threatened to completely destroy North Korea if it attacks the U.S. or any of its allies. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, meanwhile, would not say what the U.S. response will be if North Korea tests a hydrogen bomb over the Pacific. He says it's up to the president, but all military options will remain on the table. China, though, is calling on the United States and all sides to stop irritating each other. But so far, Karen, it doesn't seem like either side is doing anything to de-escalate the situation. We will, of course, be keeping an eye on any new developments and bring them to you as we have them. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you very much, Kim. Meantime, in other news, Hurricane Maria still on the march, hitting the Turks and Caicos today, but this is flooding over in Puerto Rico. Many neighborhoods are still flooded with waist-high water. Even worse, the National Weather Service says a dam is failing in western Puerto Rico, and buses are evacuating people as quickly as they can. Puerto Rico's governor said this is an event without precedent on the island. Maria is weaker today, but will be on the move through the weekend. Andrew will have an update a little bit later in this newscast. And take a look at this video from the coast of Puerto Rico. A family of 3 stranded on top of their capsized boat. The U.S. Coast Guard and British Royal Navy worked together to rescue them yesterday. One man aboard that boat didn't make it through the storm. His body has not been found. The boat became disabled in the middle of 20-foot waves and 99-mile-an-hour winds. Meantime, air travel is slowly resuming to San Juan. American Airlines became the first company to restart service, with 4 flights coming from Miami today. Other airlines are still evaluating their plans. Now remember, most of the island does not have electricity, and it could take months to get things back to normal. Still ahead, Britain's Prince Harry is in Toronto for a cause that's very important to him, but his love life is probably getting a little bit more attention. We'll tell you why. Also ahead, a country music superstar comes to the rescue of these 2 hurricane victims. His act of generosity and their brutally honest response. Up first, we'll check in on rescue efforts in Mexico following that devastating quake.
Wait till you see. Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
Fall is officially here, but you certainly can't tell from the temperature. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Tonight at 5, see why the wacky weather is sending a lot of people to the doctor this week.
First at 4 continues with stories making headlines around the world. We start with an update in the rescue efforts following that huge earthquake in Mexico. It is day 4 of a national tragedy after a massive 7.1 magnitude quake shook the central part of the country. Rescues are ongoing as workers, officers, firefighters, and civilians scramble to dig through the rubble in hopes to find anyone alive or dead. In the video you're seeing now, hundreds work together to pull bodies from a crumbled textile factory in Mexico City. And at a time when his people need him the most, Mexican President Peña Nieto took time to visit injured citizens at a hospital in wake of the earthquake. Video shows the president offering a positive message and support to his people affected by the horrific event. The quake left at least 274 people dead, destroying dozens of buildings. Uber will be losing its license to operate over in London in a surprising move. London's Transport Authority announced that Uber is not fit and proper to work in the city and will not renew its license. According to the authority, the software Uber uses prevents law enforcement from monitoring the app. Now, this won't happen right away. Uber plans on challenging the decision and is allowed to continue operation during the appeals process. Meantime, here in the U.S., another sign that winter is inching closer. This is light snow in Nevada. You're laughing, Andrew. While we're roasting in record heat here, snow is falling early there. It usually doesn't fall until early October, but most of this will melt as temperatures head back into the mid-60s next week. I think this just seems so strange to see this.
The snow is worth the wait.
Yeah, I don't think we're in a rush. It's just, it really is the talk of the town because we knew it was going to be warm, but I mean, this really feels like the middle of summer.
I know. I was mentioning it and we were chatting about it almost a week ago, and you're right. It does feel strange to see the difference in those two.
It's like you want to rake leaves, but like you're wearing a tank top and you're sweaty.
Yeah, right.
So just don't rake the leaves right now.
There you go. That eliminates the problem, right?
That's what I've been doing.
Exactly. I'm with Karen, and I'm sure you are too, everybody. Look at tonight's lows. It's going to feel warm once again. Make sure those air conditioners are still running. We've got temperatures tonight that will fall into the middle and upper 60s again, down to around 63 to 66 degrees here in the metro zone and in your neighborhood throughout all of southeast Michigan. Also across all of southeast Michigan, the heat, it is definitely on. Looking good, though, as we look at downtown Detroit. Looks like a hazy July day, right? Well, it certainly feels like it too. With 88 degrees currently, visibility is looking good. Winds are calm at the moment, but the heat remains on as we go over the next few days. Today's record high is 91 degrees, set back in 1941. Still have some time, maybe 30 to 60 minutes. We'll see if that temperature actually goes up a couple more notches to challenge that record, or at least tie it. Tomorrow's record high is 89 degrees, set back in 1936. I think we have a good chance of tying it on Saturday. Same thing on Sunday, with temperatures that will be in the middle and upper 80s once again. All right, let's focus on Maria, shall we? It still has winds very strong. It's a very strong Category 3 storm still, with winds topping 120 miles per hour or better at last point, 125 mile per hour winds. It will remain a Category 3, so far staying off the east coast of the United States, although still churning up the surf from Florida and through the Carolinas. Notice by next Wednesday, takes a bit of a wobble. We had the hopes that we could move more to the northeast because of Jose, but Jose is actually breaking down. So it may continue to either move almost due north by Wednesday and afterward, or maybe shift to the west just a little bit, possibly threatening New England, but that's not a guarantee. So as always, as we always say, keep it tuned right here. We're looking at 91 right now for our friends in Livonia, topping 90 degrees in Pinckney at 93. Good afternoon to you. Adrian, good afternoon. You've got 91 at this hour, and it stays around 90 for at least the next couple of hours. And it feels even warmer. Just like July or August, we got to talk about the heat indices. Heat index, or how hot it feels if you're not protected. That is, if you don't protect yourself, light and loose fitting clothes, make sure you stay hydrated. Anywhere from 91 to 96. Couple of showers off to our west, but they're pretty much going to stay there. Not much in the way of thunderstorm activity, unlike what we saw yesterday afternoon. You can see some of those thunderstorms brewing in Jackson, but they're going to stay right where they are. Although it is pretty muggy out there with dew point temperatures that are in the upper 60s to around 70. So all this hot air remains, mainly because Jose, even though it's breaking down, it's causing a traffic jam in the sky. So there's really nothing to move the heat away. So overnight tonight, temperatures down to 66. Tomorrow and on Sunday, 89 degrees to 88 degrees on both days. Make sure you stay cool over in East Lansing for the Spartans game, even in the evening. Lions play on Sunday and still in the 80s through at least next Tuesday or Wednesday, Karen.
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew. We appreciate it. Now, we have seen so many hurricane rescues, but this is very different. How many evacuees can say they flew out of the disaster area on a private jet? Take a look. These two teenagers from the Virgin Islands can say they flew beyond first class to get to Philadelphia. You see, they survived Hurricane Irma by hiding in a bathtub when they couldn't get a flight out. Country star Kenny Chesney offered them his private jet. Chesney's own home was destroyed by the storm, and he's been involved in relief efforts.
Chesney, thank you so much. I really want to meet you in person. I want to shake your hand, give you a hug, let you know, like, we're here.
Well, get this. Sadly, the boys say they're not really fans of country music, but they did joke and they said, you know what, we're really, really grateful. Maybe we should start listening now. Let me encourage you, give it a try. Still ahead, trending stories including a treat for Will and Grace fans before the show returns to NBC. Also, royal romance. We'll tell you why people might go wild this weekend about Prince Harry and his famous girlfriend. First, extreme home delivery. Walmart testing a plan to put groceries right into your fridge, and you don't even have to be home. We'll be right back. Breaking news from Comerica Park at this hour. The Tigers have just announced manager Brad Ausmus will not return as Tigers manager for next season. The announcement was made just minutes ago by general manager Al Avila. The decision to not bring back Ausmus comes with 9 games left in the season. The team currently has the second worst record in the American League and has lost 11 of its last 13 games. Bernie will have reaction from Comerica Park and what's next for the Tigers. We'll be talking about that ahead on Local 4 News at 5. Now, let's talk about trending stories popular this Friday afternoon. Walmart is testing a new in-home service that delivers right to your refrigerator. You don't even have to be home. Here's some video from Walmart showing how it works. Customers would use an app called August Home with home security cameras. You can place an order online. The delivery person uses a one-time code to get into your home, and they can put your products right into the freezer or fridge. You can watch the whole thing on those security cameras and get a confirmation as they leave and the door is locked. Right now, the service is being tested in San Francisco. Fairy tale lovers and the paparazzi could really go nuts this weekend as Britain's Prince Harry and his actress girlfriend could be in public together for the first time. His girlfriend's name is Meghan Markle. She stars on that TV show called Suits. The prince arrived in Toronto today for the Invictus Games, an Olympic-style competition for wounded members of the military. Markle lives in Toronto, and we're told she will be at the games in an unofficial capacity, probably cheering from the stands. But a lot of people are hoping to see the royal couple together for the first time. Whether you are a diehard Will and Grace fan or maybe someone who's wondering, what's all this fuss about? Now you have the chance to find out. For the first time, you can binge watch the legendary must-see comedy. All 194 episodes are available on the NBC app and the streaming service Hulu. Of course, the timing's no coincidence. The show is returning to NBC next Thursday night at 9 o'clock with Will, Grace, Karen, and Jack all returning. The show, by the way, won 16 Emmys the first time around. Also, NBC has another big debut next week as Megyn Kelly brings her new morning show to the lineup right here on Local 4. Our Kimberly Gill recently met with Kelly in New York to talk about the new show. Sunday at 11, a very candid Megyn Kelly talks about transitioning from politics to daytime television, her career successes and her failures, and believe it or not, her fear of public speaking. Then make sure to join us Monday, 6 a.m. bright and early. Megyn Kelly will then break down why Detroiters will really want to watch her new show and how her mom will be making frequent cameos on the set as well. You can watch Megyn Kelly today for the first time next Monday morning at 9 a.m. right here on Local 4. All right, now let's go to commercial. Still ahead, it is that time of year for ghosts and goblins for all ages to start planning their Halloween costumes. Up next, what is so hot this Halloween for children and adults? We'll talk about that next. All right, we're going to talk about Halloween, even though it feels like it's 4th of July, right?
We talk about snow, so why not?
I know, might as well. Well, if you want to be a standout person this Halloween with your costume, here's some that you might want to avoid because apparently they're so popular, everyone's doing it.
That's right, Karen. The National Retail Federation has the list of the hottest costumes of the year. No real surprises for children. I mean, the top 4 choices are action heroes. Batman gets his own category, followed by princesses, also animals like cats, dogs, and monkeys.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. Inside Edition is next.